Fair use. Fair use.
What's happening with
All
Chinese
right.
buying, the Chinese government or Chinese
So I'm
nationals
gonna try to
buying
talk over him and turn it
farmland?
down,
And
but you gonna hear them
I've got
use
a
a
map,
couple
if I can find
words
it, of where
when
they're
I
buying this land.
originally
And it's
seen this
around
video,
U.S. military installations.
and it made me
They're
think of
buying up
us
land around
as
U.S. military installations.
the melanated
And
people, so-called black
and
people, and
so when you look
how
at
we've
the
been
amount of
saying
land that they're
things
buying, it's not
about the
all that, it's
government,
a
how we've
lot of
been
land, but
saying things
given as much
about
land as there
how
is, it's
they
like
make decisions
less than
and
1%.
don't
But when you
ask,
look
don't
at it
tell, just do
strategically
things.
around military
And if we
installations,
don't know about it, we don't catch it,
it's
we don't bring it in their face, it's not an issue.
it's
But
really
I'm noticing when
concerning.
certain people on a side start talking about things.
And then when you look
Now,
at what's happening
let's
at
look
those
into this,
military
you
installations that
know,
they have land around,
and they gonna
like
use
B-2
words,
stealth bomber
you
training,
know, and I want y'all
drone
to peep that
training,
out
and
too,
all,
because
it's
we're not no
very,
conspiracy
very
theories.
troubling.
We're
So
not crazy.
strategic
We're
where it's
not
all
this. We're
placed.
not that.
Yeah, if
You
I
know,
could
but
get a
we
hold of that
know
map and show it to
we've been
you.
taken advantage
it's
of
kind of
over
crazy that
400
the United
years,
States has been
and we still
invaded.
getting taken
When did
advantage
that
of.
start?
But
With the
check it
purchase of
out.
farmland.
It's been going
Like,
on
subscribe, follow.
around military installations. It's um, it's really concerning, um, and then when you look at what's happening at those military installations that they have land around, like B-2 stealth bomber training, drone training, and all, it's very, very troubling.
God, it's so strategic where it's all placed.
Yeah, if I can get a hold of that map and show it to you.
It's kind of crazy that the United States has been invaded. And when did that start? With the purchase of farmland?
You know, it's been going on.
For how long?
Um,
Like when did this is talking about Sun owns 40% of Chinese owned land in the U.S. He owns over 100,000 acres of land in Valverde County, Texas. Although his two companies, Brazos Highland Properties and Harvest Texas, through his two companies. His purchases in 2016 2017, his plans to build a wind farm, as well as his purported ties to Chinese military, drew scrutiny in Texas several years after his acquisitions. He ultimately was denied permission to proceed with his wind farm plans. So they own the land, but they won't let him proceed with the wind farm.
yeah, and they're building a wind farm where it's not very windy. But it does butt up against a strategic military installment.
What a coincidence. This is the best land that was available.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So,
how would that be possible here under logical laws? Because in China, you can't do that. They're smart. You can't just buy their land.
We absolutely cannot buy farmland there.
No, you can't buy their businesses either.
Now, we had a man on talking about this, a farmer, and he said they also own the grain elevator where we sell our grain. The Chinese own that. The Chinese government owns that. So, and I said Chinese government. Chinese own that. Now, is it the government? Is it a government agent? Who owns it? He said it's Chinese owned and controlled. If they decide to stop buying his grain, I said, what happens? He said, well,
Fucked.
we're out of business.
Yeah. And then you take that, on top of that, the topsoil crisis in this country.
Yeah.
They've got like 60 more crops left.
Yeah.
Unless they do something radical to change it.
Yeah. And again, I want to be real careful about how I talk about this, because I'm not trying. Look, we have so many Chinese Americans here that are wonderful people that contribute so much. I don't want to say anything to create any animus against you. Really,
Wild.
You really have to wonder. You really do have to wonder.
Did you ever think you'd be in a position where you'd be talking like this?
No.
Because it sounds conspiratorial, right?
It does sound conspiratorial, and I deal with psychological issues, But these are issues that are on people's mind now. They're saying, I'm anxious about this. It bothers me. I feel like my family is under attack here. We don't have the peace of mind that we used to have. We don't have even farmers are saying, this is troubling to us. We don't know what to do about this.
Yeah.
We don't know how to feel about it. We don't know what to say about it. And nobody's talking about this. Well, I'm talking about it.
Well, I'm glad you are, because if not, we'll be talking about it when it's too late, and we'll be saying, how the fuck did we not see this coming?
And what I want is, I think if people will start talking about it, people will hear us talking about it and say, these aren't crazy conspiracy guys. These are pretty commonsensical guys that are saying, we should just ask the questions. We should be asking, why isn't anybody asking the questions? And we're not the only people asking the questions, but we're certainly have big microphones to be asking the questions with.
It's just a complete failure of corporate media that they're not asking these questions.
Yeah, and that is the entire reason that I did this network, Merritt Street Media. Robin, and I was sitting at our kitchen bar at our house in California, and I was flipping back and forth between different news networks, and I was so frustrated. I said, why won't somebody just tell the truth? Why does everything have to be spin? Why didn't somebody just say what's happening and let us do it? The media just won't say it straight. And she was sitting there eating, she didn't even look up. She just said, well, you are the media. And I thought, yeah, well, and she said, you have a bigger audience than those last three combined, so why don't you do something about it? And it really kind of hit me hard, and I thought, why don't I do something about it? I mean, why don't I create a platform to just ask the questions and tell the truth without all the spin and let people make up their own mind? I mean, somebody needs to say, have you thought about, or did you know that last year 33,000 plus Chinese came across the border illegally? Did you know that? And I just want you to know, and do with it as you will. And if it causes you to start asking questions and writing your congressman or asking questions of them, then great. But you ought to at least know this is happening. I don't want you to come up 5 years from now and say, well, nobody ever said anything to me. Well, yeah, they did. I raised my hand and I said it.
Conversation with you about this that has an opposing perspective?
Oh, of course.
Aware of it?
God, how could he not?
How could he not be? But then again, the guy's got like 5 legal cases going on. He's running for president. He's selling sneakers.
Yeah.
See the sneakers?
No, I saw that he was selling.
Getting a pair for Tony Hinchcliffe. They're perfect for him. They're gold. They're gold sneakers. He's got like 3 pairs. One's white, one's red. Yeah.
Wow, rough.
Hey, stop it, Jamie.
$400. That's expensive.
Oh, I heard there was 5,000. That's what I think they're already sold out. They're selling them online for $5,000. Because we were gonna wear them for Sober October.
Okay,
Look at those things. Look at these monstrosities. Look at these things.
Oh wow! You're gonna get a pair?
Oh hell yeah! I can see Dr. Phil rocking the Trump gold.
How do I airdrop something to you?
Here we go again.
How do you come up?
It'd be like Jamie's MacBook Pro,
Got
MVP.
it.
Got it.
Bam.
I just airdropped this to you. It says waiting. Okay.
What is this?
This is this map with the military installations. You got to look at this.
Is it similar to what he just showed?
No.
Jamie just showed where the farmland was.
Yeah,
So
this is different. Look
Okay.
at this.
So there's the military.
That's the farmland. There's the military installations on top of it.
Oh wow. That's crazy.
Look at that. Now, is that...
Look how much farmland they have.
But is that accidental? Come on. That's not random.
It doesn't seem too random, but it also seems amazing how much farmland they have.
Yeah.
Was this always legal? Is that the part of the problem with our open society? That any foreign country can come over here, any foreign investor can come over here and buy land?
Well, I thought there was restrictions on what foreign entities could buy.
So number one is Canada. Canada has the most farmland. They own 12.8 million acres here. Netherlands owns 4.9. Italy owns 2.7. UK 2.5. Germany 2.3. And China
380,000.
380,000. And this is as of 2023,
summer.
June of last year. Yeah, it seems pretty strategic where it's owned. Yeah.
Yeah, because if you put that back up for a second, let me tell you what's at some of these places.
What it says right at the beginning is
Land near the Air Force Base in Grand Forks, North Dakota, sending lawmakers into a frenzy in 2021. Yeah, there's another thing that Mike Baker, who's from the CIA, had brought up, is that one of the things that they're doing is selling cell phone tower equipment and selling routers and undercutting other companies and making like really good deals so they can set up these cheap routers and cell phone companies. And a lot of these have been proven, especially with the company Huawei, right? When they outlawed Huawei from selling phones in this country.
Yeah.
They were proven that some of their technology has third-party access. They can do things and siphon information and perhaps even intercept cell phone signals.
Yeah. Well, at that where they bought in Utah, it's the largest supersonic authorized restricted airspace in the United States. They've got land right next to it. Whitman Air Force Base, B-2 Spirit Stealth Bomber Base, missile and drone operations, MQ-9 Reaper, Global Strike Command, 3 intercontinental ballistic missile wings, and they're right next to it. Fort Liberty, they're right next to it. I mean, all of that stuff. Why would you want your biggest global threat next to those? You have no idea what they have there.
I don't play StarCraft, but I imagine if I was watching someone play StarCraft and all this was setting up, I'm like, oh, they're going to get smoked.
Yeah, it's just...
It's insane.
I think you got to be concerned.
But it's just weird that it's legal. It really is. It's really weird, and especially given what we know about Chinese corporations, that they are a part of the government. They work hand in hand. They don't get to be independent.
Yeah, and